Hey, Coach, how you doing? When you look back at the tape from the last game with Jayson Tatum, what did you like that he really did in the second half versus the first half in terms of getting to his game and more in an attack mode?
Yeah, he's just really aggressive in the second half. I thought, obviously, a lot of guys, when they have a first half where they struggle, would struggle the whole game. But the really good players in this league, all they need to do is see the ball go in once. And, once he saw that at the start of the third quarter, took off from there.
Question in person, Gary Washburn.
Brad, your six playoff losses are by 22 points. It's like 3.5 points. I mean, can you take anything from that and learn how to maybe, because obviously it's fourth quarter execution. Is there something you can take from that?
Yeah, I mean, some of it is. Some of it's the turnovers are killing us, right? And some of it is, we've had some stagnant moments on offense, and then we've had some times where defensively we haven't been as sound. And I just think, each game's has been its own entity in that way. There haven't been as many parallels as there have been just different things that have affected us. In this series in particular, other than the couple of moments of being stagnant from certainly game one, I thought the turnovers have really hurt. Those run out baskets in those critical moments are big deals, and we just got to make sure we handle the ball as well as we can, and credit them. They're the ones causing them. But I think that those are things that, to value and maximize every possession is really important.
Question in person, Tim Reynolds.
Go back to Tatum's second half the other night. Are you any believer in momentum at all? Is he the type of player that if something's rolling from one day, it will carry over to the next game? Does that work? Is that even real?
I think that's a better question for each individual. So some guys I'd say yes, some guys I'd say I don't know, and some guys are like Tatum's so good that he's been, it doesn't how he played yesterday doesn't really affect how he's going to play today because he usually plays well. So I think that that's just probably person to person. I don't think there's any question, Tim, that you can go through periods of great confidence. At that point in time when you're playing against someone going through that, you've got to do your best to break their rhythm. Right. And I think that, but, on the other end of things, I think that each player is a little different.
John Corrales.
Brad, we like to use buzzwords like playing with desperation. Does that mean anything to you? What does playing with desperation mean? And is that a good thing, a bad thing, the wrong thing?
That's a good question. I think the idea, is what you want to be, right? You want to play like every possession is the last possession of the game. You want to play with great focus on hitting singles on those possessions. And at the same time, missing a shot at the early part of the game isn't going to make or break the game. So you also have to play confidently. You also have to play assertively and aggressive. You can't play timid. And so I think that there's a fine line. Our thing this whole entire experience has been compete with great intentions, and do your best to stay in the moment and play as well as we can. We've had really good moments playing, all the way up to this point, including in this series. We haven't had enough of them when it's mattered most. And I think that that's where we have to be even more locked in and taking advantage of every possession.
Final question for Coach Brian Robb.
Hey, Brad. Gordon's usage rate has been, pretty low in these first games back, understandably so after, the long layoff for him. Is it a priority just to get him involved more in the offense there? Or is that just with their zone and stuff just going to be, how the flow of the game works?
Well, I think one of the things, Brian, first of all, he didn't play a game for 5 weeks, and now he's on game 2 or game 3. So I think that's a little bit of a unique situation where we already have some high usage players that have played well and in a lot of ways have carried us offensively. And so I think that there is a fine line there. We need to be able to play to each person's strengths. The zone does make it so that, the ball, the action has to generate the next right play. And it's oftentimes the person that generates that action that doesn't necessarily get the shot. Or even the second guy that doesn't get the shot. So we need to make sure that we're just making the next right play we're not really worried about individual usage. We're worried about getting great shots for our team tonight. And we did a lot better in the third quarter the other day. With the exception of the turnovers, we had some good looks in the fourth quarter. And so looking forward to building off that.
All right, we'll wrap it up right there. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.